The Last Email, A Short Waft by Lucien Maier. Send the short one, he said. His voice was certain. Are you sure the concept is not better described in the long one? He asked, wanting to show all the specs he had for the idea. I'm sure, Dad. For you, yeah, the long one. But this guy's the governor of California. He needs things as fast as possible. You have the technical stuff attached anyway, right? He asked, scanning the words on the screen one more time. Yes, his father said, and realized his son was right. His son stood up from the desk chair. Send the short one, Pop. The engineer sat down in the chair and hit the send on the short email. You think he'll read it? He asked. Pfft, no, I doubt it. But it's his personal email, so you never know. By the way, if they ever ask, you didn't get this email from me, he said. I found it on Google, his father said and smiled, and they went back to the family dinner. The next night, his head hung in his large hands. He desperately wanted today to be over. He wanted to make positive changes when he took office. Now, though, he didn't feel like he was helping anyone. He rubbed his eyes. She came into his office. Honey, come to bed, she said. One more email left. She smiled at him and waved him back to his work. The last email had come in at 6:30 the night before, but he had not opened it till now. The subject is what caused that. I think I know a way to solve California's power problems. Not a subject you see every day. All throughout the day he had thought about deleting it, but something about the subject saved it from the virtual trash. He sighed heavy, thinking it would just be a waste of time. Click, and the message popped up on the screen. Dear Mr. Governor, I know your time is limited. I will be brief. I'm an engineer living in Colorado. I had an idea the other day that I truly believe would help the power problems in California. In the enclosed documents, there are details and drawings of the entire conversion. As you know, you get a good amount of power from the Hoover Dam. Currently, that power comes through power lines. This leads to a great deal of transmission loss. I believe this could be resolved with current technology. Take your portion of the power that the Hoover generates and pump it into hydrogen generation. Then truck or pipe the hydrogen to California and convert it back to power. This should be greatly more efficient than the current system, not to mention cleaner. Please see the technical documents attached. The governor shook his head. Did he just read that right? He questioned himself. Now he had gotten many emails offering a solution, but none that had a basis in reality. But this should work. He immediately forwarded the email to all his technical advisors. And in that one act, right before bed, will go down through history as the moment that the New World was born. The next day, the governor was on a plane to Colorado to have a face-to-face with this engineer. He was not a remarkable man, but he did think a little different. Enough so that he was able to see the world's problems from a bit of a different angle, and solve them with new and very effective ways. 2 years later, the dam came online. The new hydrogen system was a great success. The governor and the engineer had become friends and started working on other problems together. 1 month after the dam had been converted, he got another email. Now he'd come up with a home hydrogen generation system. The system was based on heat transfer and could literally pull power from the earth, store it in tanks under the house, and then power the home from a fuel cell. Again, it was all existing technology, working together in a new way. Within 3 years, the kits to convert your homes were everywhere. Although originally they had cost around $50,000 to get into, their price and size had dropped like all technology, and the kits now run more like $10,000. But as an added bonus, they have leads you can place in your garage and plug in your hydrogen car at night. So now you could power your home and your cars from a clean, renewable source. The idea, of course, spread faster and faster. The American car manufacturers actually got a huge boost. They jumped on the bandwagon, but since they didn't have to worry about mileage or emissions anymore, they were free to make bigger SUVs and powerful muscle cars, and the world all took notice. To say it did not change the face of industry as we know it would be extremely wrong. The oil industry was the hardest hit, But they were able to use their amazing research and development to flip into the new technology, and many of them did survive the transition. It was a new way of thinking about power, and it caught on quickly. This free power was able to help everywhere in the world. The Third World was greatly helped by having not only power, but the source of power. That is truly when the human race moved into the next stage of their civilization. The engineer's son asked one day how he felt saving the world. The engineer looked at him and smiled. I didn't save anything. It was because of the people that came before me I was able to see the solution. I was just in the right time to present the idea. Knowledge is something that belongs to all of us, he said, looking out over the clear valley, the valley he had helped clean up. The sunset burned the sky from orange to red, and he looked at his full family and smiled. Was there any wonder why he'd come up with the idea? A man can do amazing things for his family.